2A. Jerry Hale, as Fred Leland's raced both the teams Steel, and he of course, is one of our rookies, and he already had a sixth-place finish in his first time around. He's got 95 points to work with, and he will be starting in the lane 1. In lane number 2, it's going to be Jerry Hopp in his sister boat to Mr. Hale. He'll be in the Graham Trucking. He's already got a third-place finish. He had a strong third-place finish also. Look for Jerry to be a factor in this one. Fred Leland, of course, the owner of that red, white, and blue boat with the stars and stripes motif. The Beery & Pennzoil pit stop, that's Stephen David, of course, the U2, Jim Harvey. He also will be a factor in this one. You can be certain of that. He had himself a very strong third-place finish in Heat 1A. He's got 225 points going into this one. We have a yellow flag on the course right now. Also, we have the U16 coming out. That's the Elam Plus. Jimmy King had a great second-place finish in Heat 1B. That's the Elstrom family and their Ballard Elam Plus organization, Marine Technology. Jimmy King giving a strong presentation thus far. He, too, should be a factor. This could be a very, very interesting heat. Jimmy can make it interesting. And, of course, now on the outside, in lane number 5, it's going to be the Pico American Dream with driver Mark Evans. He won his first heat. He has 400 points, but he's got a heck of a battle to go from an outside lane to pull this entire field around. If he's going to get it done, this will be a good test for Mark Evans and Fred Leland's Pico American Dream, winner of 2 consecutive races in the West thus far. Mark Webber has the outside. He's the pace boat. He's got the opportunity, if you will, to watch that green flag go down and a chance to pace him in. Mark Webber has a lot of pressure on his shoulders also. He's got to wire that Budweiser for win if he can do it here on Lake Washington. He has 400 points already. He and Evans are going to mix it up in a showdown. And then trailing from the back end, Bill Worcester's Chaplin's Bellevue VW with rookie Brian Reynolds. He'll be coming a rooster tail to the line, a distant rooster tail to the line. But look for him to start working his way up as he gets past the start-finish line and through turn number 1. And there is Mark Webber in the Miss Budweiser, as he's got lots to think about here, looking for Mark Evans, of course, to slide in beside him. We're inside the yellow flag, as the marker in your upper left-hand corner of the screen will indicate, and as the markers both on top of the start-finish line as well as right across the start-finish line from us on the patrol boats out on the course would also agree. From here we go to the white flag, and thereafter, as quickly as the white flag is displayed, the start could take place if the boats are in alignment. Usually there's one parade lap. Everybody's all over the race course right now as they hunt for each other to get into position to get started here. And again, the real interesting aspect of the heat draws as we get into the second stanza is that the Budweiser and the Pico American Dream, Scott Pierce, are on the outside, and this is going to be a real battle for Mark Webber to try to see if he can take a fairly fast field into that first corner.
And so, you know, depending on who your favorite is, it's going to be a Donnybrook. This will really tell us what kind of a boat race we're going to have today.
Generally speaking, Scott, your crew will set you up with what they call their outside starting combination of something that'll give you a good lane 4, lane 5, lane 6 run, because you have to run basically a race course about half again as big as the 2-mile oval.
Yeah, actually, I won the race here in 91 from lane 6. I think it's the only time it's ever been done. And what we did is put a lower gear in the boat so the boat would accelerate faster. Wouldn't necessarily go very fast. It only would go about 185, but it came off the corner like it was shot out of a cannon. And I would bet that, I know Fred Leland teams has done that, and I would bet that Budweiser has also.
Well, as you know, I was timing the boats from the yellow to the first orange buoy off the lower corner, that first 500 feet. And Budweiser was running 4 and 5 lane yesterday morning and running faster than anybody in that outside lane, I might add, as well. So I think they've got a combination, certainly, that will give Mark the acceleration off the turn. But as you say, Mark Evans is also going to have some acceleration off the corner. And the time when I was doing the timing, of course, Mr. Webber was out there all by himself.
It's to show the experience levels of the drivers, I believe. Mark Evans is the most experienced driver out there, and Mark Webber is new to the deal, and this is a place for him to really step up and shine. This is where he's going to have his work cut out. He's bringing him up the line way over 130, so we're going to have one heck of a fast start.
He sure is. He controls the pace at the line. The white flag is up, looking for a green. The alignment looks pretty decent here. Let's see if we get the green. And we do. We're racing, and from the outside, Miss Budweiser trying to pace them down into that first corner. Lots of traffic down there. The Budweiser in the center left of your screen. He's not quite as fast through the corner, but Mark Evans is getting himself a heck of a rooster tail from the Elam, and coming off the corner first, it's going to be Stephen David.
Yeah, Michael, he led him all the way into the corner. He is running extremely well. He's making me look good. I predicted this guy to have a great race, and look at him go.
Look at this pack of unlimited hydroplanes from Chopper 7 as they go down the back chute on this first lap around. You never saw that many boats together in one place in all your life, and they are flying up to 200 miles an hour down the back chute. Lots of traffic. This is a dangerous second corner up here. Stephen David has control of it with the U2, the pit stop. He gets into a little bit of rough water as he comes off the corner. Now here comes Mark on the outside. Mark Webber's really putting the pedal to the metal on the outside. Oh, flares are up. We've got a problem. We got a boat that's gone sideways on us up in the turn. We've got a problem. Rescue people are headed up toward turn number 2.
Do you know who it is, Michael?
I'm just counting them as they go by.
I believe it's Pico.
It looks like Pico.
He's over.
It appears to be Mark Evans, the Pico American Dream. The other red, white, and blue boat is going by you, Scotty, and I would presume that's Graham.
Yeah, Graham's down here in the corner. The steel stopped in the middle of the pits. All three boats are painted identical.
All right,
Mark.
that red flag means all of the race boat drivers must shut their boats off, and they have done that. Everybody shuts off and waits until the course patrols give them the clearance. You are looking at the inverted now Pico American Dream. We do not see Mark Evans.
The trap door is open. I see a hand or a foot or something coming out. I guarantee you.
Yeah, there's Mark. You can see the dramatic picture.
Yeah, he
Mark
seems to be
trying to get himself out of the race boat.
He's at the absolute farthest position away he could be. He's upside down
That is his foot,
and he can't get out. They need to get in there and pull him out.
That is his foot that you see out of the underside of the race boat now. And he appears to be having, there he goes.
There he goes. He's going to do it himself.
Pulling himself out.
He is a determined young man.
This is exactly what these cockpits were designed to do, to save the driver in this situation. Look at this, safety personnel literally going into the water to get to the hatch, the cockpit. Again, this is from the bottom of the boat. And these guys are connected in, right? They're tethered in with all manner of wires and face masks and what have you.
He's out.
And he is out of the race boat.
That's a shame, you know.
Bit of a struggle to get out, but he's talking to his rescue man. He's out.
Let's give him a big
pats him on the back.
Wow.
They hug, and Mark Evans is all right.
You know, that's the boat I crashed in Detroit, and the last time I looked at it, I was the one crawling out through there, and that's a fast boat. I guess it's just not a lucky boat.
Look at this. Look at this. Not only is he out, but he waves to everybody to let them know, not only am I out, but I got out myself. Isn't that marvelous?
You know what's going to happen? He's going to go jump in probably the team steel boat for the balance of the day. He may still win this thing yet. I know Mark Evans, and I'll bet that's what he does.
Now, he gave his rescuer a big hug as he got out first thing, and then stood right up and waved at everybody.
Mike, he was in the middle of the pack there as they were coming around the turn. We never saw the boat get up in the air at all.
Well, I saw it, but I didn't know which it was, and it looked as though he rolled up on the right non-trip there, Scotty, and he was hanging there for quite a while, but it looked like it came down when the rooster tail cleared. Of course, when they float upside down, they are so low in the water, you couldn't tell for sure until all the wakes cleared.
He was having trouble getting through the traffic, and he was having a lot of trouble with Jimmy King, and I think he probably did what happened to me in the same boat in Hawaii a year ago in October when we rolled the boat over. I think he probably rode up somebody's rooster tail and rode the thing over, and hopefully we'll have some overhead view of it here shortly.
Well, it's
that
amazing.
Many tracks, of course, to deal with in there, that many troughs and that many boats. That's exactly what we're concerned about when you have that much. Boat looks relatively intact. It appeared to have been a relatively slow roll.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that is the finest constructed cockpit in the sport. I hit 200 miles an hour in that thing, and as we see, Mark just jumped out and gave the crowd a big wave, and I'm sure he's just perfectly fine, and we're sure happy to see that. I know my heart was in my throat. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah, mine too. There's Fred Leland, obviously quite concerned about it. This was a boat that he thought he could win with today. It was a boat that was running strong, but it was a boat that from the very start, Scott, got himself into traffic and never really sorted it out.
He didn't get a good start. He was behind. Weber brought him up very, very quickly, and he did not get a good start, and he was behind. And I don't think they were counting on Steve David and Jimmy King and these guys running as strong as they're running, and they were leading them. They were just flat putting it to them.
All right, now what happens now? Take a look, and you can see this is just after the fact. You see the rooster tails have already moved away, and you can see inside the circle a bit of a splash. Nothing else left there. At that point, that boat is over, and Mark Evans is upside down.
You can see how far ahead the other boats are. which indicates to me that he got caught in somebody's rooster tail. Mark Evans is not one to give up. He'll drive into a blind spot, what you call a blind spot. When you go into those corners and you're behind and that water comes up, you can't see a darn thing. And so obviously,
All right, here we go with Bill Rock. He has Mark Evans just released from the medical trailer. Bill?
Mark, main thing, you're okay. What happened out there?
I'm all right. I promise. I had to say that right off the bat. Just got through the turn, went in the first turn, going down the backstretch. They both just gained on me. Jimmy King and the Elam on the left, and Budweiser on the right. And as we got down for the next turn, I was back, and probably back 5 boat lengths because I didn't hear it in fraction. But when they turned, I don't know if my boat rattled up or what happened, but it stood up, and I got right into the Budweiser skid fin spray, and I was gone.
Did you just roll over, basically?
No, it flew. It went straight up and just kind of flopped around like a big bunch of cardboard in the wind or something, and then I don't remember what hit or how I got upside down, but it was clear out of the water, flying around, and ended up upside down.
So you're okay? There's nothing wrong?
No, everything worked. The systems, my seat belts, my neck brace, my air system especially worked just fine. Matter of fact, I was upside down. I was trying to get a hold of my crew chief on the radio, and it wouldn't work underwater, obviously, so thought I'd give it a try. And I was real patient. I just waited for the rescue team to get there, and I knew I couldn't unbuckle or do anything until the thing completely filled with water, and I want to make darn sure my air system worked. And so while I was dilly-dallying around, I got my hatch cover open with my feet and plopped it open, and just waited for a little while longer for the crew guys to get there. And they still hadn't arrived, so I went ahead and undid my seat belts and kind of started working my way out by myself, which I don't really like you to do, but I just couldn't stand just hanging around, you know. So ended up, just as I was trying to pull myself out, I saw a hand on my window down there. I knew the divers were underneath, and then the crew guys got me from the top side and pulled me out.
There was some talk of sliding you into another boat, possibly. Is that going to happen, or what's the rest of the day?
Well, that'd be nice, but by the rules, we can't use another boat. So we got to use the boat we're running. So if they could hurry up and get this thing in here, we could get the wings and engine and gearbox in that boat and possibly run it in the final. So that's what I'm really hoping on.
Did you notice any damage to it at all?
No, but I did see some airplanes flying around when I was up there hanging around. But no, other than the back wings, I think, and then I'm sure the engine cowling's probably gone too, but just that superficial stuff. So, you know, nothing major.
Hey, tough break for Mark Evans. Thank God he's okay, and that's the most important thing. Let's go back up to Steve.